What's up, everybody? So, for a while now, people have been asking me, and I've been promising to make a video basically going over all the mods that I've done to my 2015 Ford Focus ST. If any of you guys have been following me for any length of time or since the beginning, you know that this car has been through a bunch of different modifications. I've had three different turbo setups if you count the stock turbo, two different suspension setups, bunch of different exterior and interior modifications, other various bolt-ons and exhausts and different things like that. So had the car since 2016. It's 5 years later. Figured I'd make a video about basically what I've done to the car and where she's going to go from here. So right now, I think, though, the car is pretty much in her final form, if you will. My goal with this car is to have a reliable daily driver that I can take to the track on the weekend, and or a track night in America, and smash about and not blow up and take me to work the next day. She's good on gas, relatively speaking, and she's a lot of fun to drive. So I think I've reached that point pretty much. Without sacrificing, reliability and practicality as well. So, I guess I'll just start from the top and pretty much talk to you guys about everything I've done. So, I'll start with power and then go to suspension and brakes and then interior and exterior. And so, as you guys may or may not know, I am tuned by the best tuner for this platform, which is Alan Jackson of Edge Autosport. I don't say that lightly. I've had 4 different tuners on this car. Every one of them has been great, but Edge Autosport is leaps and bounds ahead of the curve. For the EcoBoost platform, I really wouldn't recommend anyone else other than Alan at Edge Autosport. They're based out of Denver, Colorado. So far, Alan's been tuning me for close to 2 years, and I've had nothing but success. I've done, who knows, maybe 20 or 30 autocrosses since I've been tuned by him. 5 to 8 track days. I honestly have lost count. And then on top of daily driving across the country, it's just been awesome, and I wouldn't get tuned by anybody else. Not to mention, if you go on Edge Autosport's YouTube, they're always doing something new, testing something out with the Focus ST and the EcoBoost platforms, and not just EcoBoost platforms, but any platforms that Cobb supports. So I do have the Cobb access port. Obviously, without that, you can't get tuned. Well, you can, but that's the tuner really for this car. So anyway, go check out Edge Autosport. Alan Jackson is the man. Shout out to Alan. I'm always telling him he's awesome, because he really is. And his tunes are amazing. So anyway, when it comes to power with this car, I'm running a Garrett turbo upgrade, the GT2860 RS. It's a proven turbo. It's been around for a very long time. It's nothing, groundbreaking, but it's a lot better than the stock turbo. It was fairly inexpensive, which means it's fairly inexpensive to replace if something were to go wrong. It's kind of a bulletproof design. Like I said, it's been proven for a while. And it gave me a lot more power than stock without sacrificing the low end response, or making the car run weird, or just not having any torque down low.
60.
So I really like the turbo. I've had it on now for probably exactly a year, or a little bit over a year, and no, actually a little bit more than a year. And I've put it through a bunch of track days, bunch of autocrosses, and daily driving literally every day for over a year. Who knows how many miles I've put on this turbo? Probably over 15,000, between 15 and 20,000 miles on this turbo, if not a little bit more than 20,000 miles. So I drive a lot. Like I said, I drive it every day, and I drive it to track days and stuff like that. So, I can't complain. I think right now on 93 octane, this turbo is making about 320 to 330 wheel horsepower, depending on the day and the temperature and the weather, and about 350 to 370 foot-pound of torque. Like I said, depending on the day, the weather, and the tires that I have on the car, or whatever. But it's an awesome bulletproof setup, to be honest, and it's inexpensive, and it's Garrett, so you know what you get with them, which is quality. As far as power, the turbo is mated to a 3-inch downpipe from Agency Power. This is an AFE Takeda intake that I have wrapped with gold heat wrap. Had that on there a while. I've got the CPE 5.5-inch Beast intercooler. Let's see. I have depot charge pipes. Can't really see that. It's under the motor. I've got a Mountoon. I don't know if you guys are able to see that, but in there is a Mountoon radiator, upgraded radiator. I've got a Mishimoto oil cooler, which is right there. You guys can see it poking through, or you can see through here. Mishimoto oil cooler, which has helped just on the daily drive, has really helped with keeping the temps down and keep the motor happy. What you can't see is a Livernoise Performance upgraded thermostat, which opens up the flow to the radiator at a lower temperature. So I did those mods, which are technically power mods, but I did them to help with keeping the car cool when I'm really pushing it at autocross or the track. And people really sleep on that lower temp thermostat. It's $69. It's a proven modification. Go do your research on it, and you notice a difference right away because the engine just stays cooler and it feels more powerful. But I would suggest doing that modification and have your tuner as well change the fan temps, so the fan temps come on at a lower temperature as well, or they gradually, progressively come on at a lower temperature. So that's just something I'd recommend. I think that's about it for power modifications. I am running the Radium rear catch can. That's a must-have, especially if you want to keep your turbo and your intercooler clean. That basically catches any of the blow-by from the PCV system. This right here is a Melee Designs lightweight battery mod. They make a bracket for the Focus ST, and then you buy a lightweight battery, so that shaved like 20 pounds off the front of the car, I believe, because the stock Focus ST battery is absolutely huge. You do have to keep this thing hooked up to a battery tender at night most of the time. So I've got my little clamps there, so when I pull in, I can hook it up. But it's a worthwhile. If you have a garage or an outlet, it's fine. I guess the last piece of power would be the exhaust. So I've got a European RS bumper fitted on the car, and a custom dual exhaust here with 4.5-inch tips. Let's see if I can get under here and show you guys that. It's kind of dirty right now, and there's a couple of little pinhole leaks that I've been meaning to get fixed at an exhaust shop, and I will one day. It's just not a big deal. Alright, so let's go ahead and close the I'll leave the hood open. So we'll go into suspension and brakes. So right now I'm running the ISC suspension on this car, ISC North America. I really love the suspension. I used to have the D2 suspension. I did a whole YouTube review on that suspension. Go check it out if you want. But when I started tracking the car a lot more heavily and doing autocross, and basically tossing the car's weight around and requiring more of the suspension, the D2 didn't really perform the way I needed it to. There's still a great coilover for the street. I'd recommend D2 to anybody who just wants a lower stance, but a really nice street ride. But for racing applications, I suggest you get something that's not D2. So I sold those and I got the ISC suspension coilovers. I got them with the Triple S upgraded front springs, and these are the race / track coilovers. So it's stiffer spring rate, 10K in the front, 7K in the rear, and let's see, and they have coilover covers all around, which are great. It's a great modification. Do that to any coilovers you have. Keep them clean, dirt free. 32-way damping adjustable. As you see, I've actually taken a hole saw with the Vorschlag kit, and I've cut out from the top of the strut so that I can adjust camber and damping on the fly or at the track or at home. So for a track car, it's important that you're able to quickly adjust your suspension, which will adjust obviously the handling of the car. While we're up here, I guess we should talk about my Massive Speed front strut bar. I did a review on that. You guys go check that out. It's an awesome piece. And what you can't really see, but in here are the AWR track mounts. I think I did 70A in the rear and 80A on the side. So I have all 3 AWR racing mounts. That helped a lot. Helped with weight transfer, launching, braking, turning, everything. Obviously it stops the engine from moving on its own and kind of connects it to the chassis. So I highly recommend the AWR motor mounts. I did a YouTube review on those as well. Go check them out. I go more in depth about that. Let me show you what I've done suspension wise in the rear of the car. See, hopefully there's enough light for you guys to see this, but so I've got the Massive Speed rear strut bar back here. I installed, I had to cut into the rear bar. They actually offer, the rear bar they offer now has this cutout, so that if you do have damping adjusters back here, you don't have to cut it out. But I cut it out. It's okay. Still works. And these are the damper adjusters for the rear of the car. So works real nice. I really like the Massive Speed piece because it's got 8 mounting points, 2 up here and 2 down there on each side for a total of 8, 4 and 4. Massive Speed makes great stuff. This will make your car handle differently. It really stiffens up the rear, so just be cognizant that that'll happen. I've got JBR rear sway bars. I'm sorry, a JBR rear sway bar, which I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not, but it's there. Got a JBR rear sway bar. I've got Moog end links, both front and rear, and I have both a front and rear JBR sway bar. I've done a review on both of those, I believe. At least the rear bar I know I've done a review on. I really like those JBR sway bars. They really transform the handling of the car. You just got to play around with the stiffness. They're 2-way adjustable, so you got to find out what your car likes, what it doesn't like. But I think that's about it for suspension alone. Let's go into the brakes. So I've got a new big brake kit. It's the Sika 8-piston big brake kit. It's 356 millimeter rotor, 8-piston kit. I love it. This thing is amazing. It's a beast of a big brake kit. I think this is the biggest big brake kit you can get for the Ford Focus ST that'll fit in 18-inch wheels. By the way, these wheels are Rota KBRs. They're dirty now, I understand. It's been a while since I washed the car, but they are 18 by 9.5 inch wide with a 38 millimeter offset. But anyway, back to the brakes. Awesome brakes. Stop on a dime. I'm running endless brake fluid, endless RF 650 brake fluid. In the rear, I'm running a rear Stop Tech brake rotor with Hawk HP Plus pads. I actually did a review on those as well. Go check them out. And I've got stainless steel Stop Tech lines all around on the car. Well, in the rear. In the front, I'm using the stainless steel lines that came with the Sika kit. This kit, it was expensive, but worth absolutely every penny. It's beautiful, and it stops so well. I did a review on my previous Big Brake kit, and while that kit was a quality kit, it is nowhere near the quality and performance of the Sika kit, which is this type of kit is used by race teams, and the other one was a 6-piston. This is a 8-piston as well, with stainless steel pistons, so they dissipate heat better and yada yada yada. But anyway, probably wondering why I got rid of my old Big Brake kit. Long story short, I found out that it was not a Brembo kit. It was actually a copy from Taiwan or China, and I tried to contact BDR Performance about this, and figure out what was going on and get possibly some sort of compensation, or get the truth out of them. And unfortunately, BDR Performance kind of went AWOL, and when they were found out, and just kind of went dark on everybody, and now they don't respond to anything. Brandon Dubose over there, just acted real shady and doesn't want to respond to anything. So I really would suggest that you stay away from the BDR Performance Big Brake kit for the Focus ST if you want a kit that's going to be able to really take punishment out the track, and that you'll have support for. Because one of the things he promised was like lifetime warranty and support for like replacement rotors and pads, and he just didn't have that at all. So I had to contact the company that actually makes the kits, which is TEI. I had to contact them in China and ask them about replacement parts, and I just wasn't trying to deal with that. It was just shady and weird, so I bit the bullet, cut my losses. I sold the old kit and got a new one. So super happy with what I've got now, and this thing does amazing on the track. I thought the other brake kit was amazing, which it was. It was better than stock, but this is really, really, really good. And like I said, race teams use these, and so it's legitimate. Go check Sika out. Go check them out. Go check out their website and their options. All right, so we can talk about exterior real quick. Not much. We got a lip kit. I did the Euro front bumper. It's got the little cutout for a license plate. That's a little eBay lip. I think it costs like $70. I'm over buying a bunch of expensive front lips because they just get caught on stuff and shatter, and then you're out, $250. These are the RecGen mud flaps. Nothing crazy, but they honestly are awesome. They do the job. Probably had them on the car for 3 or 4 months now. I really like them. Like I said, I put the Euro RS bumper on the rear of the car. I really like that modification as well. I think it flows. Obviously, the Focus ST and the Focus RS share like 90% of the same chassis and parts and everything, so it was just a plug and play thing to do. Put a little gurney flap lip here from Spoiler King. This is a cheap mod. Looks good, gives a little style and flair, what have you. Moving into the interior of the car, as you can see, I've added the Brom Elite R racing seat. It's a fixed back cloth racing seat. I love this thing. It's so comfortable. It holds you in well. If I could, if there's one gripe that I have with this seat, it's that it's just not quite as deep as I wish it was. I wish it was a little deeper. It's kind of a shallower fixed back seat, but it's shallow because it's got a lot of cushioning, and I absolutely love it. I'm running a Cypher Auto SFI rated 5-point harness in the 4-point configuration. I didn't want to drill into the floor into the 5-point. One day I will. You guys know about the carbon fiber steering wheel from Zen Carbon Fiber. It's a great piece. I love it. I'm a little upset because one day when I was getting an alignment, one of the techs was being careless and chipped a piece of the wheel right here with his alignment tool. And that upset me for a while, but now honestly I don't even think about it. It's still a great looking wheel. I love it. And you guys know about the Cooler Works shifter right here. This thing's been running strong for a long time. I did a whole YouTube review on this. Go check it out if you're interested. I absolutely love this thing to the moon and back. I wouldn't have anything else in my car. This thing is absolutely amazing. I love it like a child. It's the carbon fiber one. I got it on a pre-order, and I've loved every moment of it since. Makes you feel like you're in a race car. That's the Cobb Access Port, the Auto Blip. I did a review on that. That thing's amazing. I'll be using it at the track. Come here soon enough. When I get back on the track, I'll be using it there. That's an awesome piece. I did a review on that as well, so go check that out. And this is the Cypher Auto harness bar. This one is made for the Focus ST. It installed really easily. It's a 4-point bar, so it's got this point right here, the other one on the other side. It's got another point right here that you can't really see. It goes down to the floorboard and mounts there. I love this thing. It looks really cool. Nice place to put stickers. I don't know what other sticker I got on there. Hawk Racing. And obviously it safely mounts your harness here. I've had 0 issues with this thing at all. You do have to do some cutting into the plastic surrounding the B pillar. I guess this is what we call the B pillar. You do have to do some cutting there. It's real simple, nothing crazy. So yeah. Oh, and I guess the last thing is I've gotten upgraded. I've got an amp here and upgraded door speakers, but this was an ST1 originally, and the sound was kind of crappy. I'm not gonna lie. I still have to put a sub in here. One of these days, I'll get a flat, kind of small trunk subwoofer that I'll put in here, and I'll go to an audio place and have it installed. I'm not big into doing audio work. It's not really my thing, so I'll just have a place do it. But other than that, I love this car. She's great. She does not let me down. She just keeps running. I use AMSOIL 5W30 Signature Series, and I change the oil about every 5,000 to 7,000 miles, depending on how many track days, and autocross that I did in between. And she just keeps on running. So I have no complaints. Oh yeah, one last mod that I did forget. How could I have forgotten? Which is one thing I waited for a long time for, was the Pierce Motorsports brace. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yep, that brace that's under the car right there with the sticker says Pierce Motorsports. That's a 6-point brace. I ordered it. Took about, I don't know, maybe who knows, maybe 3 weeks to get to my house. They had to make it in about a month. But man, that thing's awesome. It connects the front lower control arms to the subframe, and then connects all that to the chassis. Really tightens up the front of the car. I love that modification. If you are on the fence about buying that brace, just buy it. Trust me. You'll thank yourself later. So anyway, sorry to talk so long, but I wanted to go over all the modifications that I did to the car. There's probably some things that I missed. If there are, you can just comment below, ask me, whatever. But yeah, so big things coming. Oh yeah, so you've probably seen a video where I had a carbon fiber hood from VIS Racing. I still have it. It's in my garage. I just got tired of not being able to drive everywhere or go through car washes because it had those big holes in there and water would leak through. So I'm kind of saving that hood for days when I go to the track when it's really, really hot, like in the heat of summer. If there's like a 90 or 100 degree day here in Texas, then I'll probably swap the hood. It takes no time to swap. Until then, I'm going to keep the stock hood because to me it kind of looks nicer, and obviously it's more practical, and I can drive in any weather and not worry about water getting into my engine bay. The other modification I have coming is some aero. I'm going to do some track aero to this car. You guys will see what's coming. Probably going to do some front aero eventually, but right now I'm going to worry about rear aero, and I've got something on the way. So that's kind of a surprise. I'm not going to spoil it yet. No pun intended. And, y'all will see that when it gets here. But yeah, other than that, love the car. She's awesome. She's my day one. So if you guys got any questions, just hit me up in the comments, whatever. Find me up on Facebook, Instagram, Track Mode STR. So I'm gonna take this car to the track this weekend and have some fun over at Harris Hill Road, and do a YouTube video about what I think of the car and everything like that. Because I got some slicks at the house on a new set of wheels, so we're gonna see, and I'll show you guys what I think about that when that happens. Other than that, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I make videos when I can, but I'm a regular dude. So, alright, see you later.